Hey everybody, here's an idea that I came up with for a game you might be able to develop into a game. I call it Into the Light, and we're going to start with getting a puppet. And I like to get one of the, I think it's fun to use these little guys. So we're going to put our little guy here in the middle, and then we're going to have a little just a very simple little ball sphere that we will use as our little attacker. Alright, so we've got a little ball there. Now we want that ball to attack this little guy here, so we're going to put a tag on this guy to identify him, and we're just going to call him player. So we'll just put player on there. Okay, so he's the player, and this is going to be our attacker, and we're just going to basically we're going to fine tune him. We're going to put movable on, and we put the density up a little bit. 75 sounds about right. And we want to label him foe, because he's the enemy. That little ball there is the enemy. Okay, now we want to go in and we're going to put a microchip in there. And a microchip basically is just to hold the various little gadgets that we're going to add. And the first thing we're going to add to this microchip is a follower tag. And we're going to go over here to movers and output. We're going to grab a follower, which the little guy followed by a ghost, it looks like. And so we're going to grab that little follower and we're going to stick him in here. Okay, and then on that follower, we're going to identify that we are looking for player. We're going to be following that player, and we'll put the strength up to about 90, I guess. And so basically that's all you have to do on the follower. It's going to be looking for the player, and it's going to be following them. And the speed, you can set that speed. We'll leave the speed at 2.5, and we'll just go with that. And then the other thing we want to add is that when we catch that guy, he's going to be destroyed. He's going to be killed, whatever you want to call it. So we're going to put a health modifier in here. And that health modifier, when the sphere gets to the player, it's going to get rid of them. So that's basically what we have there. Now, let's just go ahead and run this and see what we have. And there, all right, we have to, I think we're going to have to slow down. I think we're going to have to slow down the ball here. Let's slow down the ball so we don't catch our guy that quickly. Don't want to do that. I want to go in here, and we're going to get him down to, let's put him at 1. No, 1.8, that sounds good. All right, and that'll give our guy here, and he is running at 3.5, so that should give him plenty of opportunity to get away. Let's take it down to 3, and so he should have plenty of room, but let's go ahead, just be on the safe side. Let's give him a little bit more room. Another thing we want to do is we want to go in and very quickly we want to go into the controller logic, and we want to go in here to the little imp, and we want to force possession. So that way we don't have to, every time we want to play, we don't have to press that R2 button. So we have that set up. So now let's play, and our little guy is running around and that little ball is chasing him, and if that ball gets to him, we know what's going to happen. He's going to die. We don't want that to happen. So let's go ahead and let's find a safe place where he can rest. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a, I call it into the light. So we're going to create a light. I don't want to do that yet. Let's go back. Let's go back in here and let's go to the lights. We have cameras and lighting. We'll grab a light and we'll put that light right about there, and we want that light to be precise move, and let's go ahead and tilt that down at a 90-degree angle thereabouts. Okay, so there is our light. So we've got a light, and we want that light to be a safe place for that little guy. But when he runs around, when he runs around and goes to the light, he's not safe because the ball goes through the light. So we have to find a way where the ball cannot get into that little light area, and that becomes a safe place. So what we're going to do is we're going to, and there's other ways of doing this, but this is what I came up with. We're going to go ahead and we're going to put, let's see, let's call it, let's put blue here. We're going to put a blue cylinder right in the middle of this here, and we want to make it big enough so that it covers up all of that cone of light. So let's go ahead and we want it to be basically the same size as that light. So let's make this a little bit smaller and get it into there. Alright, that looks about right. Okay, now what we want to do here on this cylinder is we want to go in and we want to go to the properties, and we want to just go here to the physical properties first, and we want to just turn off visibility. That's pretty much all we have to do, is just turn off the visibility. And we're also going to put in here the collision labels, and we want it to collide with foe. Okay, so when that ball gets there, it's going to collide with it. Even though it's invisible, it's going to collide with that. And so let's just see how that works. So let's go back to play. And because, yeah, see, the little guy can get in there, but the ball can't because the ball is labeled foe and the player is not. So the player can get in there, and because it's invisible, the player can, it's as if it isn't there. So that gives it a safe space. So that's basically the idea for the game, and you can have these lights wherever you want. Let's go ahead and go back up here to show hide, go over here to preview invisibility, and now we can see that don't need that. Now we can see that our light and our barrier here, we're gonna go ahead and select those and group them, and now we can go over here to precise move, and we'll just drag that over there, and let's drag it over here. And now let's go back to our visibility, turn that off, and now when we play our game, we're safe there, and then we're over here, we can get to safety here, and then we can get over here to safety, and you can space those out so it becomes more of a challenge to get to them, and you can also increase the speed of the ball. But another thing you can do to make it a little more difficult is we're going to add, going up here to gadgets and going to movers and output, and we're going to go to emitter, and we're going to put an emitter over here. And we're going to take our ball, and we'll reduce it down in size a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to go into this emitter, and we're going to emit one of those balls every 1/10 of a second continuously, and they're going to have 20 of them out there. So we're going to go 20, and we're going to go ahead and object to emit is the ball. And now when we press play, okay, we've got a whole bunch of balls they're going to be coming after. Okay, well, they're not much of a threat now because they're moving awfully slow, but let's go back. Let's go back and let's go ahead and change the speed on this to, on the follower. Let's see here, we need to get there. All right, let's go to the follower, and we're going to put that speed up to about 2.5. Okay, we know that the player, the puppet's going at 3, so puppet still has a little bit of a speed advantage, but now let's go ahead and put that emitter back in. Again, we'll take off that, and we'll take this down and put this up to 20, and select that. And now let's see, and we press play, and we've got a bunch of them, and we got a bunch of them chasing me. But see, if you get into the light, they're safe. Whoop. Right. Well, there you go. There's an idea for a game. You can flesh that out, but the principle is that we have a safe place where the puppet can go and be safe, and you can have those lights move. You can have, you know, some platforming, all kinds of things you can do. But the basic idea is that we created a little lighted area, and it doesn't even have to be, the light is a gimmick. The light has nothing to do with it. It's basically what we have here is just this cylinder that keeps the attackers from getting to the puppet, and so the light is just a visual to show where where that safe place is. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you got something out of it. Maybe it'll give you some ideas for a game that you might want to do. But until next time, keep playing and keep having fun.